What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the LCS studio and the LCS waiting room. Join us, take a seat, even though you'll only need the edge of it, because today is the first day of the 2022 regular season, and we've got a bonus waiting room guest. That's right, Kobe's jumping in with us for today.
Yeah. Welcome.
Producers decided there
thank you.
aren't enough voices.
Glad to be here. I'd like to thank all the fans who voted for me.
Yeah. Ooh, good idea for the future, though. Fan votes for who gets to join it.
Yeah,
who gets to
And there's
join
only
it.
one option. It's
And it's whoever we chose for that week. It's like them or nobody.
So we were having this discussion earlier. Is it better to be waiting with more people, or is there a cap of how many people you want to wait with?
Yeah. Anyone have a
Imagine
thought?
you're stuck in an elevator. What's the sweet spot of people to be stuck in an elevator?
Right, you don't want to be alone.
Well,
Isolation is bad.
I would rather be stuck in an elevator by myself.
Oh, come on. Wait, as long as you have an LPL or an LCK stream to watch.
If my phone works,
there you go.
I'd be like, I don't want to deal with having to do awkward small talk with someone in the elevator, you know?
I think the perfect number is 3 to 4, because if it's just 2 people, that's the maximum level of awkwardness. It's like, should I say
So,
something?
who we vote now? Like, this guy over here? Us 4, right?
Isolate,
He says this in the 5-person waiting.
I agree, though. Whenever I go traveling, the best number of people for traveling, you know, for most adventures and for booking stuff, is always 4 max.
I think it's 4.
Four.
So-
5 can be great. 5 sometimes is the perfect number.
like right
Sometimes
now.
it is. And today we're going to find out if that's true. Okay, let's dive right in. I'm glad we wasted 2 minutes on that conversation. We have a very exciting day ahead of us. First and foremost, because we're going to break a 10-way tie for first. All of our teams...
I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for this for so long.
All of our teams currently tied at 0-0. Here's the schedule for the day. We kick things off with Evil Geniuses versus TSM, CLG FlyQuest to follow. Third game of the day, Sports Team Liquid, 100 Thieves, 2 more matches to close it out. But chat, right away, I want you to let us know which of these matchups is the most exciting to you. Follow the directions on the screen. Make sure your voice is heard. We'll check in on what you have to say in just a moment while we discuss ourselves. Okay, so I see Jat already pointing to match number 3.
The middle one.
Well, okay, I hear you.
TL bias, anyone? TL bias.
In my unbiased opinion, it's going to be Golden Guardians and Cloud9.
Why?
Just because there's new players across the board from Golden Guardians and C9,
Yeah.
so that's I'm unbiased.
He literally also coached.
What are you talking about?
Unbiased.
We haven't seen both those teams in the lockout. Lock-in tournament. There we go. And so it's going to be seeded.
They were
great
locked
to
out
see.
of the lock-in
Of
tournament,
course.
but now they're here. Interesting that you went there, because that's actually not the matchup I expected people to go to. I like your reasoning. I thought if people didn't go for match 3 like Jat, that maybe people would jump to that first game of the day, EG versus TSM.
True.
That's mine. Ryze actually took mine, but I'll take EG.
Yes!
Because of the 2 like new starting lineups. But EG TSM is super interesting to me. EG and how they recover from losing in the finals, and then TSM, we haven't seen this team at all, and I've heard some very entertaining things from them in the off season as a team. I've been watching Keaiduo stream, and he is hilarious actually. So I'm really looking forward to seeing them. I don't know what they'll look like. I don't know if they'll be good, but I think it'll be funny.
I have heard that their scrims have not been going super well, and when Spica was on Hotline League, he was like, you know, we're just starting, give us some time. So he's trying to set a low
the brakes.
expectation,
It's very smart.
manage those expectations.
Set your expectations as low as possible
Yeah.
at the start of the season. I think it speaks also to like the brand power of TSM. They just signed 2, I'm not going to call them random imports from LDL, but like any other team who brings in like a minor region player to their starting roster and then they start streaming, we're not all talking about like, oh yeah, I was watching his stream. and
LPL is a major region.
Reddit.
LPL is a major region.
LDL. They weren't LPL players,
Yeah,
Kobe.
true.
They did come from a major
It's a major
region,
region,
but in a
though.
minor
Shenyi
league,
subbed
I
in
guess
for
would be
Chris
the
for like 5 games.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like any other team imports these 2 players and they're not as talked about as these 2 guys are already, which is just
Absolutely.
speaks to brand power.
And that's the beauty, of, as you kind of mentioned, the brand power of TSMs. Everybody's kind of waiting to see how TSM is going to do during the offseason. In this case, at least they came out with like a pretty transparent video of how they went through the selection process with their scouting process that happened in Asia. So like the fact that they went through LDL, LCK players, like or at least like players from both regions and saw good things both of Keaiduo and of Shenyi speaks to, I think, of their abilities
All right,
and
let's
their
maybe-
potential.
Let's maybe
Not
check
the
in to see
keyword.
where chat lands on this conversation. I love that we're already all over the map in looking at a number of these matchups, and I think there are reasons to be excited about all of them. It looks like by a small margin, TL 100 Thieves is the more exciting matchup
Jet
out there.
wins again.
But I love to see how close EG and TSM are. Go ahead. Go.
I mean, that one is super exciting because we're just coming off of lock-in champions and the most disappointing performance of 100 Thieves, who were supposed to be the lock-in champions by everybody except for Jat.
Yeah. I'm predicting them to win today, but I need to get both of them right.
Oh, spoiler!
Yeah.
All right, so we've got those matchups coming later today. I want to see what's next on the board for us. Kobe, you were late to a cast with Captain Flower.
I was.
Ago, and we haven't had an opportunity
However-
to talk to you about it on air. Here's a quick replay of the moment,
Yeah.
which has turned into one of the most lovable
cute.
and amazing gifts.
Yeah, I loved your little jump. It was very cute.
you gotta stick the landing, okay? It's all about positioning. So this was because I went to the bathroom. I wanted to listen to the smart analyst desk that we had that was after us. So I stayed, I listened to you all. Then I went to the bathroom, and because I stayed and listened, I didn't have enough time to get back to the desk in time. So Flowers had to kind of ad-lib fill for like 30 seconds, maybe, not even.
That long. And honestly, he could have done it for an hour. So I'll be honest, I came into this prepared to just disagree or like not believe you, call you a liar on anything you said, but you decided to bring the analyst desk into it. And
He's blaming us.
Definitely
pulled
lied.
the rug out from under me though.
He
At this
definitely made something up in that
Yeah,
description.
exactly.
But I don't know what it is.
Well, I did watch you, so the only thing I would have made up would be that it was
That you were listening.
It was a good desk.
Moving on.
All
Okay.
right.
Here's a question that comes from the community, and I kind of want to use this to jump into a slightly larger conversation. It says, does 100 Thieves' upset loss to Dig expose their lack of versatility? Does this tip the scale on power rankings? And if so, would you put 100 Thieves, or where would you rather put 100 Thieves in the preseason standings? That comes from It's Tricky. Now, I want to quickly flip over because It's Tricky got good news for you. The Dive did some power rankings this week.
Okay.
So we have some data to work with, at least in the way that three people think from the Dive, in Azael, Kobe, and Mark Z. Of course, we've got Kobe here to represent his own list, so that's going to be the one that I'm going to focus in on a little bit more. But all three of you had him in third or fourth position. By the same token, Jat also, with the re-release of JLXP,
Thank you.
got some of his power
Not as
rankings
high
out.
quality in the graphics, I will say. I can work on it.
That logo is sick, though, man.
The logo is amazing. I put 102 seconds, so higher than all the guys on the Dive.
All right, discuss.
They're the defending champions. I feel like they should be put higher than fourth. They didn't even make roster changes.
So not changing too much after seeing
Well,
lock-in and
for
those
your
performances?
dive power rankings, were you guys doing what you usually do, which is
Projected to the end
of the split?
season.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
think. I think second. I don't think lock-in is that important for projecting success.
I did feel like they had a bit of trouble coordinating some of the things that you feel more reliable usually when you're looking at 100 Thieves, which made me a bit more worried. You know, some of the dives, some of the transitions from early game, I really thought, you know, same reasoning as everybody else leading up to lock-in. It's why I predicted them to win lock-in. Is because it's the returning roster. They were practicing in Korea. They didn't make any changes, defending champions, and yet they are still fallible.
Which one of them's right, Emily?
I don't know, but I'm going to take this conversation to a completely different direction.
Okay, fine.
I need
That
to
works.
write-
Wherever you want to go.
I need to write it in my contract that I'm never doing power rankings again in my life.
Because I
dangerous
did
game.
internal power rankings, but I'm interested.
I wanted to focus on the back half of that tweet because I think it's really interesting if their strategy, if having like one strategy is a negative or a positive, because I think if you can perfect, like if they can perfect playing through their bot lane 2v2 the way they want and involving closer the way they want, I think they could be the best team. But to Kobe's point, a lot of the stuff that we saw them setting up, especially like adjusting to how they're going to do those bot lane dives or top lane dives and the timing of them, some of it was off. So it's like you need to at least perfect this to contend for the top.
Or
I have a theory for this.
slap a Janna smite top.
Let's go.
God.
And then you don't have a top lane. You don't have to worry about that side of the map. Everybody's bottom.
This is a topic for a longer conversation. I have a theory that if an NA team is going to win Worlds, it's because they're really good at something narrow.
I agree.
And then the meta and patch just needs to favor that because we'll never win Worlds being versatile. And because we're never going to be versatile as well as the other teams are going to be versatile. So 100 Thieves, you do you. Their lack of versatility can be considered a strength. They should lean into it, and they'll win again.
Yeah, I mean, I think 100 Thieves, as you kind of mentioned already, have a clear-cut identity. Like every meta, there's always going to be adjustments that they have to make. When they lost in lock-in, a lot of it had to do, in my mind, with, you know, of course, them adapting in game. They have those problems. They, like last split, they were really falling off before the playoffs actually happened, and then they got, you know, this stuff together. So actually, in my internal rankings, I had them second. So I already agree with Jack. I had them second place.
Go.
And a lot of it came to, yes, they have mistakes, they lose out games, but they ultimately come to a conclusion on how they view the meta. And of course, in the end of the day, they have an insanely strong jungler who is incredibly clutch, and they have the strongest bot lane in the league. It's going to be challenged by Team Liquid. That's actually why I have Team Liquid as first place right now in my internal rankings. But, you know, I have to give respect to 100 Thieves.
One thing, because I don't want to take anything away from Closer, I think, you know, he's an extremely good jungler. I do think the competition in jungle has been raised this split.
Yeah.
Jungle is stacked in the
Okay.
LCS this split.
Very, very cool. Earmark that conversation, though,
Thanks
around
for putting
about...
JLXP, even though I had like bad graphics.
My pleasure.
I'll get them better. I'll get them better, and JLXP can be on here
Now I'm
every
going to hold you
week.
to that.
Just make the
endearing.
title card bigger than the other one.
I did that for the next episode. It was
Okay.
much
Nice.
cleaner.
Well, stay tuned for that, by the way. Okay, yeah, earmark that conversation, though, around potential Worlds. Because I think that is a really cool, but down the line conversation that we'll be sure to have. You talk about adapting to new metas and how that's going to be a challenge for any team, even if they already considered the best in the region. Zeri activated on this patch and will be available for play here today. This was an awesome clip that has been circulating on the internet from our very own Jan. Over 1.7 million views. This thing went viral.
Huge.
It's so cool.
This was shortly after the release, and if you look, he's like 3-7 at the start of this clip, so he's not even strong. I love this clip. I also talked to Jan like a couple days after this happened, and he was like, "Man, I've gotten so much better at Zeri since then. Like, I did so much wrong in this clip. I wasn't auto-attacking enough.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, man. I don't think we're seeing this champion today. It's gonna get bad."
Well, Kobe, I think earlier
Karma.
today you said to me you think that she's the strongest champion currently.
I do. I think
this.
I think she's literally the
It's
strongest
insane.
champ in the game right now for skilled players.
Okay.
And if you sort the data by diamond and above, and at least 50 games played on the champion, so it does take out a lot of the
you have to play it a lot,
one-timer players, you know? But it's a brand new champion. She has the highest win rate of any champion by a good 4%. She's at 64, and the next highest is like 59 and a
60.
half.
Yeah.
So she has a lot of room to grow as well. Yes, people are still getting used to playing against her.
This
but
clip's still going.
just look how frustrating
Look at his move speed, by the way. It's
stupid.
over
Yeah,
1,000.
she's
The
literally
Sona
moving
didn't
around.
help. The Sona did not help
I will
because of the
say,
shield hitting.
since this clip, they have made one change to the champion, removing the interaction with Hurricane, fucking the ultimate extra speed for all of those bolts. But that's the only nerf that they made. They have not made a significant nerf to the champion.
Yeah, people have made adaptations, of course. Like Titanic was already in the build. We saw Darshan go for Black Cleaver.
That looks
because
like
it
a
adds bonus movement speed.
TikTok. Like,
It caps, by the way, at 1,500 movement. It doesn't cap, but like he actually goes as far as going up to 1,500.
This was a challenger game, too. It's like not like he's playing against...
Yes. And the funny thing, too,
Yeah.
is immediately after this game, of course, Jan comes out with his post, but also Quantum puts out his one that has audio behind it, and all you hear is Revenge being like, guys, guys, as he's just missing abilities, quote unquote.
Yeah.
He can't hit Zeri. So, you know, can go top lane, can go bot lane, incredibly flexible competitively. So I expected to see a lot.
that's what's dangerous about it. When you combine super high range and super high speed, these are two of the most desirable stats for any champion in League of Legends. And you can make challenger players look like they are bronze players with that amount
You're
of
that
speed and
fast.
range.
And can click that well.
Now, this topic already got brought up a little bit earlier here in the waiting room. But with her latest adjustment, why didn't we see any Janna during lock-in? And should we expect to see her at the start of the season? Bonus question, which support do you think will be the first to pull her out? I love this. That comes from Robert Hannum. And then Horty over here, my favorite response, you mean first top laner, quite obviously. Kobe, you said it. Who's gonna, bring in that Janna smite? It completely warps the game.
I think and I'm really hoping that we do see it because I've talked to the European West Challenger player. I keep blanking on his name because
when they interviewed him in
it's hard
a
to
UK
say,
article.
But I've been talking to him, and Lorlo plays a whole bunch in Challenger in North America and has been trying to spread it so it gets looked at quicker. And there are just so many things that are very, very positive for the current meta if you try and adopt this strategy. Now, these are also not foreign concepts. Like, these are not alien concepts that they're implementing to have a successful, what seems kind of troll at first when you load in screen with a smite top Janna roaming around all the time. If you look at other games and even at other MOBAs, Dota, they have a system where, they'll rank their carries 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The decisions around what position you play are not nearly as rigid. It's about how much resources you get. And this is similar to funnel strategies where in this one, you're not funneling a minion wave of golden experience into your carry. You're funneling the presence of your top laner. You're funneling pressure into the other side of the map. And it's incredibly effective because you can just leave top lane, you get your level 3 and then go roaming to beef up your carry, beef up your jungler or your bottom laner.
Yeah, and these are like really tricky puzzles to solve from like a game design perspective as well, because there are so many systems in place that also aid the success of this Janna top lane. Like, one of them would be objective bounties. The game is almost tricked into thinking Janna's super far behind when it's actually something Janna has been wanting to do the whole time. And then also, even though she falls behind in experience, the most aggressive type of catch-up experience in League is kills and assists of champions. So if you fall way behind of experience, but you're getting kills and assists, you just slingshot back up to where the other team is. But then the final question that I don't even know the answer to this yet, is it the smite top objective bounty stuff, or is Janna just really OP right now?
It's not the objective bounty stuff. I'm very confident in saying that is for sure not that. In playing with and against it in solo queue and thoroughly interviewing the challenger players, their opinion is that if you pop the bounty, that's not ideal scenario. It's actually very good if
You just want to snowball?
Exactly, off the bottom side of the map. And especially in my own experience, if you pick a jungler like Hecarim or something like that, and your team ends up with Janna and Karma, or a Janna and a Lulu, and you've got a Jinx carry for the bottom lane, you can snowball so heavily off that bottom lane and just stack dragons. So people have tried to come up with counters. You try and be like, okay, well, if I'm getting a free lane top, why not I just super scale on top side of the map? But if you pick Tryndamere or Fiora and you're trying to split push, the team with the Janna is just stacking dragons and they can force the issue, force the team fights, so it becomes very difficult.
We didn't answer the question, though, which team is most likely to do it?
Yeah.
I would say it's going to be, I'm just going to pick a team, CLG.
Okay. Yeah, let's some predictions here. So CLG here.
I'll give Lorlo's vote, which is 100 Thieves. And we were just talking about how bottom-centric they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some days already practiced it in solo queue.
Yeah.
He even posted the OPGG.
Emily, does that mean you're jumping out here to say, you're jumping on that?
I was gonna say 100 Thieves too,
Okay, so we got 2 votes for 100 Thieves and
I
Raz.
don't think the strategy is going to make it competitive. I think maybe FlyQuest, the team that is probably going to be
Searching for victory. Okay, interesting. There's another conversation that I want to have off of this that we unfortunately don't have time for.
The wait is over, Dash.
Well, because I'm kind of curious whether or not it's even a good idea to do something that you have knowledge of will leave the game. Like, yes, it might get you some wins now, but is it worth the time to invest in a strategy that won't be viable down the line?
Usually not.
Usually not. Okay, we'll get to that a bit later. Kobe, thank you so much for joining us on Waiting Room. I know you have a cast to get to, and I don't want you to be late again, so I'm going to give you ample time to make it up there to the caster desk. Thank you so much, my friend. That's it for Waiting Room. Let's kick off the 2022 LCS regular split.
Kobe's still there. He fake ran.
Yeah.
I think this split with Bjergsen returning, EG with jojopyun, with Danny as well, both very hyped rookies. C9, very controversial team. No matter who wins, I think it will be a lot of drama, and it's going to be very entertaining.
Dignitas have done it! Ladies and gentlemen, where were you when Dignitas cut down the reigning champ?
We thought we had pretty good chances for lock-in, but Dig gave us a wake-up call. Now everyone is hungry again, and we are going to be looking for revenge in the Spring Split.
I don't think I showed too much of myself yet.
No vision inside the pit currently for EG. They've got Twisted Fate ultimates.
Definitely excited to show what I'm capable of.
He did it! jojopyun claims the Baron.
I mean, I'll just let our game talk.
That is NA talent for you, baby. What a combo. Luger lines up the ulti and shoots down another. And actually he's going to go for here. It's just going to be a smite. Find the steal. Happens revenge.
Nice binding.
Yeah, that was pretty tanky. Has that FLICKR. Flashes over. Beautiful. That's a good kill for Tactical. Then JJ here as well. Tactical.
Now Tactical's just gonna kill him off.
The LeTigress is making it happen. Gets in there solo someday with Huni right in his face. Golden Guardian starting to sing.
Beat them. Beat every single one of them is my goal.
That's a quadra kill from Hansama!
Team Liquid are the team to beat in North America.
Can we just roll that intro again? Just roll that intro again! Like, I just want to watch that over and over. Remixed by Nightmare. Thank you so much for that. That's a sick intro to kind of, for me, it brings all the nostalgia of the LCS in it.
It still
you know.
has the core beat.
Yeah, but now we've kind of got that changing of the guard, different faces out there, you know, absolutely love it. Welcome back to the LCS and the kickoff of the regular season. Excited to be here with my analysts. Let's take a look at the matches coming your way today. As you can see, first up, we've got the next generation of TSM taking to the stage against Evil Geniuses. That's going to be a big one to say the least. We've already spotlighted that, as well as the third game of the day in Team Liquid 100 Thieves. Golden Guardians Cloud9, though, I think that's a sleeper, as Raz said, with a couple of looks at the intended rosters there. But let's get into that first matchup of the day. It's Evil Geniuses rebounding from a sweep in lock-in, and it's TSM sporting two of their newest arrivals. That's the roster I want to start by talking about.
There it is, Zoomers versus Zoomers, right? Looking at TSM's roster, you know, Harold, Spica there, MVP of the previous split. Nice that he's the captain there. Huni's returning, but you get to see the new faces of Keaiduo and Shenyi from China, like we discussed from the previous segment. And of course, Tactical, who's going to be laning with Shenyi. So a completely different look to TSM.
Yeah, I hate to use the potential word. I do think this team has a lot of potential. I don't think they're necessarily going to start that hot, but if they win, it's because they're just going to straight up outlane people.
Yes.
I know Tactical is just an insane AD carry. He's always top of solo queue. Spica can really run the show. They have basically jungle through support. No one's older than 21. So that's why we're saying Zoomers. Then they got Huni up there, who they all call like a giga boomer because he's been in the league for 8 years. But I'm just excited to see this team try and outplay people and make mistakes along the way.
Exactly. And my big thing, of course, looking at Keaiduo when he was playing on in the LDL, he farms really well. And he just takes chances, as you would expect from a young player who trusts wholly in his mechanics. And so it's going to be fun to be able to see that, because even when we're talking about the boomer that's upstairs in Huni, he's also someone that takes risks regularly. So this is an active team.
Now, it was already mentioned, of course, that Spica will be the leader for this team. We'll get into that in just a bit. But speaking of this new TSM mid laner in Keaiduo, he recently joined NA solo queue with an absolute bang. We've got a quick highlight reel of his streams. Take a look.
This is my brew, not your brew, Cookie. Please give me. I will find you, Cookie. Find the Cookie. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, boys! Let's fucking go! Don't bully! You know? You wanna die? You wanna die? Yes, I'm sure you wanna die! No! Goodbye. What? Oh my god.
I mean, let's talk about the value of a player like that.
That room is so loud. Like,
I bet.
it's going to be loud 24/7.
Nuts.
But yeah, go for it.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, I know I talked to a few people about like why they selected Keaiduo specifically. He performed insanely well in their actual tryouts. Raz made all the points about like how he's gonna play the lane. They also really wanted a player who's gonna be like happy to be here, right? Like I think you can see in his attitude, he is like still learning the language, but he has a very outgoing personality. And he actually reminds me a lot of Huni when he initially came to Europe. So that's a really interesting match. And I actually agree with Jat also that this team really believes in their own hands. Like they really, really do. And so that's going to make it exciting either way. Like regardless of what happens, they'll be a fun team to watch.
And I mean, like, I love the fact that the transparency from the organization about like the thought process and building the team together. Also the support staff that is going to heavily help them in terms of like the language aspect of being able to get them on the same page. Their coach Chowie is a great example of that. So they really built this team, A, for the long run because these are young players, right? And they, as you said, fully expect them to want to develop them and work with them. But also just if there are any issues in communications, getting their ideas out there, it's all.
We are speeding towards game time as I just take a look at the clock. So I want to push us on to the second addition to the team in Shenyi of FPX. And of course, a lot of people, FPX world champions, holy crap. Let's talk about him, Jack.
He was actually able to fill in for Crisp for a couple games in the LPL, so he has a small amount of LPL experience. It's a nice signing because he's still very young. My biggest concern with this will be the language barrier between him and Tactical, right? It's different to have someone who's not a great English speaker in a solo lane versus a duo lane with Tactical who can speak English and Korean and is taking some Chinese lessons. But you can see just a lot of potential from this guy, and hopefully he translates some of that stage experience into TSM.
And I know, I forget where I read this, but I do believe that TSM also did want to make sure that their jungle mid support all could communicate as like a unit. So I think that is really where a lot is going to be on Spica. Like this, as we said before, like this is Spica's team. He's going to be facilitating stuff with Shenyi, and the jungle support duo is super important. And then also with Keaiduo in the mid lane.
I mean, what an asset it is.
By the way,
to
they're
have
on stage.
Spica. Yeah, they are on stage. In case those of you are at home were unaware, we managed to get the players in here today. Very excited about that. But I do think what an asset it is to have a player like Spica bilingual to be able to kind of bridge that gap. And then as well, Keaiduo, who's very clearly excited about becoming more fluent in English, but already most of the way there. From there, we flip over to EG. It was already mentioned by you, Raz, two of the youngest teams in the league, but that doesn't mean that this EG roster isn't one to be feared, as we've already seen how far they can go in the lock-in tournament, even if they would fall at the last hurdle.
Exactly, and so this is such a damn good matchup to see in the first day of the Spring Split, because we already saw how Evil Geniuses performed in lock-in. Incredibly successful because they were able to bring in Vulcan and Inspired into the lineup. The grandpa on the top lane, Impact, of course, the stability that's up there, but also just the young players that are incredibly confident in their own hands in Danny and jojopyun.
And I'll say this, piggybacking on, these are both two teams that are going to believe strongly in their own hands. The thing that really impressed me about EG in their run to the finals in lock-in was the fact that they were so good at creating positive plays and cross-map trading. They seemed incredibly well coordinated, and once they had tempo, they did a really good job of keeping it.
And also, this team was completely undefeated in lock-in tournament until the final day.
Right.
So if that one day where I feel like they did get outdrafted in that series didn't happen, everyone would be saying that these are world beaters and the #1 team in the LCS. So don't overreact based off that one day. This is still an incredibly high potential team. Emily had a great feature on JoJo if you haven't seen that on LOL Esports.
He's
and
so
they're going to be so exciting to watch.
I just want to read this out because I absolutely love this. I'm not sure. I'm not going to read it out. Remember that? Yeah, you know what? Go to LOE. That's a good job. Yeah, nice pivot. Go to LOE Esports, read the article and the interview done by Emily because it is awesome. It's prediction time, though. Who's got the better hands? If it's a game between who's got the better hands, who has it today? Raz, let's start with you.
I have it for Evil Geniuses taking this game.
Okay.
Just because we've already seen the strength that they have, and also just Inspired came out and stomped in the first lock-in tournament. I think they already have themselves ready for this.
EG, but if it was a series, I'd say 3-1.
Oh, okay.
It's a best of one, though, so it's
fair enough.
EG.
And EG as well. So we're giving it to EG, the team that's already been here for a bit longer. TSM needing some time to ramp up. We'll find out soon enough, though. The 10th year of the LCS starts right now.
shift gears here and talk a little bit about the LCS.
We can all agree that LCS is a joke, right?
I look back at the golden days of the LCS.
And it simply isn't the same league it used to be.
You know what? There just hasn't been much to be excited about lately.
Yeah, excellent point. Disappointing. The real contenders, right?
That's why I hold the throne. You're out of my league, so when is the need? Raising the flag, you better retreat. Call me a god, call me a king. You better believe. This is my kingdom. This is my domain. You can't take it from me. The greatest you've ever seen. You remember my name. I rise like the red sun. I won't lose. So damn good at this game.
And FBI burns them down.
Welcome back to the 10th season of the LCS. Kobe, you and I have been there every step of the way, and I am excited to bring you new blood, honestly, in this one here. Evil Geniuses, their 17-year-old mid laner jojopyun, TSM, investing in academy talent from China. I mean, we've got legends playing today and later on, and new blood as well.
I just want to say, too, that trailer is so hyped.
Yes.
That thing gets me so pumped for the LCS in 2022, baby. That was definitely a good one. Let's get right into it, though, because you touched on it. Evil Geniuses. They've got some young talent here. They kept Danny after his great success last year and have added jojopyun already after lock-in tournament. I'm definitely a fan. I am a believer. They also brought over LEC MVP jungler Inspired. Woo. They've got a lot to prove after a bit of a chip on their shoulder, losing the lock-in finals, but they did go undefeated up until that point. Meanwhile, TSM, we haven't even seen this roster yet, baby.
That's true. Reports are that this is a team that is meant to build. You look over the mid lane at Keaiduo, he's got about a full year of experience in the LDL. Shenyi at support has a year and a half. 5 games in the LPL itself, but this is rookie talent. It is a building kind of idea for TSM. The expectation is not that they are hot out of the gate, but that they will become a very good team with time, with practice. That is the hope, and that's what we're going to be looking at them and grading them on. Meanwhile, EG, already know expectations are high, right? They got a bunch of high-profile pickups, right? The fact they got Vulcan over there, the fact they got the LEC MVP, and everyone else obviously outstanding. EG are still one of the top teams to beat.
Okay, Jinx, Thresh, Renekton, all still available here. Karma Ban being thrown out, that is a very strong support, as well as being a flexible to pick anywhere around on the map. I did throw it down. I think, in waiting room, I think Zeri right now is the strongest champion in League of Legends. Yep. If you are a skilled player and you have put the time in on her. She's very rewarding champion if you put the time in to learn her. 50+ games on it, Diamond Plus, highest win rate in the entire game. Yeah. Picked up by EG. I'm so excited. There's a small chance it could go into a solo laner's hands, but I'm pretty sure this is going in Danny's hands, most probably for the bottom side of the map. When you're facing this champion, some things that are very annoying for your lane phase is the extra range, but you can't shoot through minions. So you can, try and take advantage of her that way. Senna as well is extremely strong for the bottom lane right now with the bust for the slow on the Q. So we'll see about the harassment, because Senna, I think, is a very good answer to Zeri. You can harass her, try and stay in the minions, go for your Qs plus your auto, get your soul harassment, and we'll see who's going to stand the test here. Because Tactical rejoining, TSM from his TSM Academy games,
Going to be very happy here. A lot of people hyped to see what he can do on a new squad.
So solo queue data tells us over the last month that Senna gains an extra 3.5% win rate when against
Not
Zeri.
surprised.
Yeah. Turns out that when your high move speed's running around and Senna's like, here's a slow, here's a root, here's 800 attack range. She gets to ignore a lot of your advantages. Senna, supposedly a counter pick in a Zeri.
And just, it makes sense because of the pattern for your lane phase as well. We'll see about the pairing down on the bottom side, though, because support bans should come through. No supports picked up. Yumi already off the bat. Yumi is such a good pairing. I love this ban because with Gwen or Zeri, both extremely annoying. So the support bans continuing to come through. Meanwhile, EG banning away some of the safety there in the Tom Kench, which has gained so much popularity after those recent buffs.
You can see EG actually doubling down, continuing the strategy they were running during lock-in, which is putting a lot of effort toward Impact. They gave him a lot more carry champions during that preseason tournament. Normally we think of Impact as, oh yeah, he's on tanks, he's gonna play like the Gangplank and play weak side, he's gonna chill over there, he'll cross map for you. But Gwen is a champion who wants resources. If she is ahead, she wins every 1v1, and she wins most team fights if she's ahead on gold, which means you want to give her the attention, you want to give her the help, and that means EG should be playing a bit more toward Impact with a pick like this.
Interesting that TSM for Huni here choosing his Jayce. Now, TSM have had Huni Jayce split push scenarios in the past, but also pretty good range here for TSM picked up in several of their carries. Senna, of course, is going to continue to scale with the Soul Generation, but both Viktor and Jayce, very good range for setting up for those objectives towards the mid game and kind of forcing the hand here. EG say, you got range, we've got engage. It's Jarvan and Leona with Ryze. So much engage here, so much ability to close gaps and force these fights. I like how this one's shaping up. Should be interesting whenever you do have those sorts of differences.
I want to offer quickly, before this Rell gets locked in, that there is always a chance TSM sends Viktor to bot lane, plays Senna support, and finds a new mid laner as an answer to Ryze. That's not going to be the case here. It's likely to be farming Senna down there. Certainly pretty reasonable down there. Always actually a fan of her fasting as well and letting support get a lot of gold, but totally reasonable strat here with Viktor in the mid lane. Some engage off of Rell and Poppy, just a little bit harder than compared to a Jarvan and Leona.
Yeah, if you're a Senna player, you basically just have to ride the wave of buffs, nerfs to the Soul Generation.
Yeah.
Goes up and down depending on the patch, and was recently turned back positive here for the farming Senna, so definitely a very good pick.
Yeah, I mean, the goal ultimately is always that Senna is a viable and roughly equally strong AD carry and support. If it's too much one way, all right, well, Soul drop chance only affects AD carry Senna. And it's like, oh, well, they can both be good then. And just, that's the lever, that's the primary one they use, which is why that has gone up and down so many times over the years.
I also have really liked the Poppy picks that have become very common into the Jarvan. Because your base damages are quite good, you can also have a pretty good early effect. And W, goes without saying, extremely effective against the champion where you can break most of his early game kit with just one spell.
All righty, well, get ready because game 1 of the 2022 season is about to begin. Evil Geniuses look like one of the teams to beat. TSM grab a new roster. Here we go onto the Rift. Welcome to Summoner's Rift and welcome back to the LCS. Evil Geniuses and TSM gonna be doing battle to see who's gonna start the season out undefeated. Right now, we got 10 undefeated teams in the LCS. That's soon to be 9.
Very excited for Keaiduo and Shenyi's first LCS games. TSM, this squad finally gets to put the pieces together on stage. Let's get it indeed.
Now, I want to see if, okay, I want to see a scheduled treat from Vulcan as well, by the way, midway through. Like, I want the
some hashtag live evil.
Yeah.
Phreak, it's no surprise that you would like and fully embrace the hashtag live evil style.
Yes, absolutely. I will tweet anyone, banger tweet, hashtag live evil. Sven Skaren's living on in my head still. I think that was a good topic to go for a while. But yeah, I remember Mark Ziesman talking about the idea behind Trash Talk and how you get bonus points beforehand, but after still works. I agree fully with Mark's opinion, by the way, that The more spice, the better. Just, be good at it. Be good at trash talk. Pull a double if Double's good at trash talk, right? And then he backs it up, and it was great. And, I think the league sorely misses him because that was a good spice. But we've got Vulcan bringing it in. I think Spica is pretty solid as well. Fudge is a great villain as well. I think it's outstanding, and I want to always amplify that.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the growth of some of the social interactions here. This EG squad really does, feel like they're fully embracing it. Meanwhile, we've got a little pause, as you can see here. Quickly figure out what that is if we can get everything working on stage. I'm just happy that we do at least have step number 1 complete and the players are back in studio here in person. It does come with a few kinks that we're going to have to work out here.
Sure.
Hopefully, we can combine everything and eventually we'll be back to a full studio with all fans and crowd noise.
Would be great. I would love to get everyone back here. Normally they'd be 10 feet over to my right beyond you, Kobe. There'd be, a couple dozen people, a couple hundred people.
I miss people shouting at us, but even, sometimes they would like throw a poro or something.
I've been hit.
Which we definitely discourage, but you even now start to miss the things that you used to discourage, right? I remember one time, I think it was...
Is this IEM you're thinking of?
It might have been an IEM, but someone threw a banana, and it was me and you, I believe, that were up there. Luckily, no one was injured in the banana throwing incident of 2015.
Yeah, similar fruits like tomatoes. Also, sometimes bad form to throw at people. I just, in general... Don't throw things at people on stage unless, that's part of the bit. Someone's like, hey, someone throw me a deck of cards and I'll do a magic trick. Then you're on board. But fruit, usually not, unless they're like, I'm really hungry, please someone help. That's your only option.
We need some safety measures.
Yeah. But who walks around with a tomato? Is it, right? Is it just you're walking around I might get hungry later? You hide it in a pocket because they bruise easily. How do you realistically carry tomatoes around?
It just reminds me of, high school seniors coming with eggs.
Oh, yeah.
That was on a scheduled, everybody was in on the, okay, everybody watch out for the day though. So
yeah.
Not going to be the case. It looks like we're getting some ready checks in chat. Very excited.
Yeah.
Get into game number 1 here, baby, and we can stop talking about throwing stuff.
Pirate roleplay in the all chat. Ours from everybody, and we are getting back onto the Rift here, LCS 10. I don't know. It sounded good at the time. It might not have once I said it. But we've got ourselves onto the Rift, and Shenyi gonna spot a friend, jojopyun. May have just gotten a free stack of Mana Flow Band, and in fact did. So big dub there, but gives away 0 gold. No one attacked.
Oh man, I can really just follow along with this emotional ward roller coaster that you're living, Phreak. That's little David there, that ward. Little David's got one more auto attack worth of life left.
Live a whole long 90-second long life. It's gonna be great. First trade comes in for Impact and Huni, trading pretty equally. Worth noting that Door and Shield, of course, is going to be more passive regen. Huni has no innate sustain realistically, so theoretically, if you can kind of slow play moderate poke, you can kind of burn him out of potions and keep your Door and Shield active. Of course, wants to auto every time you go for a CS. That one, Impact, got to grab without taking any damage, and the lane is actually pushing toward Huni a bit.
Yeah, as you said earlier in Champ Select, Gwen really looking to farm for early stages here. 1, 2 items. That's where she really shines. Huni picking the Jayce into it, trying to harass early on, get some health advantages so you can set up your team. And if you look at the mini-map, no surprise, both of the junglers here started top side and are pathing towards the bottom side since we do have double melee supports. Leona versus Rell down there, lots of playmaking opportunities for both of these junglers. Poppy and Jarvan both have some pretty big gank assists here. Yes, Poppy would really rather kind of shadow and be a blocker for Jarvan. That's why you take the champion. The W does wonders.
Alrighty, well, the bot wave is pushed down towards the turret, but right now Jarvan is busy on his red buff, and they're not 100% certain if Poppy's coming. Of course, they have that trinket ward in the river, but if you play too far up, she's still going to W beyond you, and good luck getting out of that one when, Senna and Rell can go for flash Ws, so a little bit of safety required, dropping just the barest bit of CS down there. As Inspired will go for Krugs as well, a full level 4 clear. As Spica has script Krugs himself and is getting control over the bottom scuttle.
Yeah, actually skips Wolves as well.
Oh, yeah.
Slower clear here just to immediately get down because, again, Poppy's goal is more of a guard in the early game here versus Jarvan. Inspired looking for plays and Spica looking to stop them. Glad that we also get to, get a look there at the laning phase. As we were talking about, the Senna being able to utilize the minion wave to get her Q off for the harassment against the Zeri, who cannot shoot through the minions. And Danny, you see him positioning around the minion waves, trying to harass, utilize that big range advantage that you have on the Q over pretty much every single AD carry in the game.
Looks like top skill gets to go to Inspired. His smite is up in a second. Won't matter ultimately. He's going to claim that one, no problem. More farm done for the Jarvan as we get to see a bit of a scrap down to the bottom side. Danny holding onto the full charge passive. Does pretty decent damage early on. Worth noting that if you're spamming Q, even if it doesn't hit anything, you still get 1/10 that passive charge. So you'll often see players just mash Q even when nothing's going on to get the passive back sooner. It's going to be just fine as they trade farm yet again. Look for the first engage, but no! Shenyi able to just crash down backwards, gets the shield, and never going to be hit here. Passive used by Danny, but Tactical gets more health and a soul out of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed here with just some of the choices. Leading up to this, they saw junglers.
Good hit, flash for the fling backwards. Stun's gonna land. Danny flashing forward, but now locked in place. Welcome to the LCS. Shenyi gets first blood.
Shenyi and Tactical put Zeri in the grave. What a 2v2 there. They really made a lot of good choices leading up to this as well that we could go over, but Inspired is heading towards the top side to clear up the minion wave. And this actually has pretty big ramifications because you see immediately Impact goes to collect the minion wave. He's going to try and keep it right here in front of the tower. General rule of thumb, you just need 4 minions there worth of DPS to be able to keep the freeze. Here's another look at it. The secondary engage, this is after they saw the junglers. They go in for the full Q, but Shenyi had the great counter engage. Yep. And Tactical flashes away. Rell with that snap stun.
And a little piece of that one I want to talk about, because bot lane is fascinating to me, is the difference between Aftershock and Glacial Augment. Aftershock makes you tanky, but you're never killing the Leona anyway. Shenyi's Glacial cuts everyone's damage by 15%, settling Tactical, taking 15% less damage. Yep. They're already going to ignore the Rell anyway. Helps him live, and they can't kite anymore, they can't chase anymore. Great Keystone choice, great fight by TSM's bot lane.
Yeah. Already, since everybody's hyper-focused on judging Shenyi as well as Keaiduo, pretty good mechanics as well. The timing on his crash down was immediate. There's no hesitation there in either the first initiation where he avoided Vulcan's engage, but also the secondary one here where they actually end up with the kill. So microscope tests thus far looks quite good for him. Again, it's not pure LDL because he did sub in for 5 games for FPX. That you may well know, even if you don't watch the LPL, because they won Worlds. Pretty important stuff.
Alrighty, well, bot wave shoved in, and now Evil Geniuses, as they make sure it's not going to be frozen too heavily. Danny puts his aggressive ward down, or the one that tracks the jungle gank. It'll track you if you blast plan over or if you walk, so pretty much the best ward you can kind of do, unless you have several. Do want to point out, though, it is Noon Quiver from Danny. Personally, I think a Trinity Force build is stronger. I might be biased. Worth noting, though, that a crit build is a better scaler, but a Triforce Power Spike is far stronger if you're trying to bully a bit earlier on in the game. Looking at bot pressure now, looks for the flash stun, not going to find it. Does Vulcan want to go in on the Shenyi? The answer right now is no. Flash down for nothing, as Tactical is already out of summoners.
Yeah, good use of the timing here for JoJo. For the Ryze, trying to get your early game roams off, always the goal there versus Viktor. He can head right back to mid lane and pick it up. They aren't rewarded too much because of the cautious play here from the TSM bot. Both Tactical and Shenyi giving it the appropriate amount of caution. Also, since you were talking about summoner, or you were talking about keystones as well, the Senna with the fleet footwork, really well utilized here to get the full trade off. The extra speed does so much, and the constant healing is keeping them at 100%.
Yep. Senna has really low base stats, like health armor-wise. She's very frail. You buffer that by healing much in team fights with passive, healing with Q, healing with R, and that can all work out pretty well for you. So now the bot wave shoved in. Spica covers and says, okay, there's no gank. Huni just wants the wave in. We're not diving a level 7 Gwen, even though, she doesn't have TP to get back, so just safety.
Yeah, Senna, one of the few champions that can control the move speed differential versus Zeri, who generally excels with the mobility in the kit, but especially with her own speed up and the slow now applied on the Q.
Yep.
Take a look at the side lanes, though. Going quite well up there for Impact, if I don't say so myself. Gwen farming quite nicely. That being said, Jayce is a very strong 1-item and 2-item user. as well, and it's about bringing him for the harassment support. Timings towards mid, though, are matched, so is just fighting over mid-wave control to get another window. This is the highlight for Ryze all the time for mid-game. Jojo, with his blue buff, looking to make a side lane play, currently richest player in the game to boot.
And a lot of the time you see these supports, it's like, why'd they both show up mid to clear a wave at 8:30? It's 8:30 because Rift Herald spawned a minute ago, 30 seconds ago to be more exact. Then you want to be on that side of the map. You want to be like, okay, do we have mid control? Can we shove in and play for Herald? How good are our wards? Can our jungle top show up? And right now, Huni's there.
And the entire team has committed to this from TSM. You see the full recall. Senna's coming down through mid lane. So Senna has a much easier route here towards this Rift Herald. You don't even have to commit to it. And you can see him backing off now. Tactical just comes down mid lane, hesitates. All right, we've got the objective, and I can just go straight down bottom. EG take the opportunity to get that turret plate here, though. Second one here knocked off for Danny on the Zeri. And the bottom lane pressure is kind of the payment here. One more is a pretty good payment, honestly, for a Rift Herald, depending on how it's used, you know, and when we see the final cash-in of that objective. But Zeri definitely good at knocking those plates down.
And I want to point out the 30 CS lead right now is not just because the Herald roam. She was up 20 before that happened and Danny stayed bot lane. This seems to be very common for EG, that Danny frequently is left bot lane to get gold. So while Tactical walked over, then walked back and lost maybe only 6 CS, Danny has been out laning, so well done to him. jojopyun has, by the way, been crushing lane as well. He's garnered his own lead, so even though TSM got that 600 gold first blood, you can see EG up 900 gold as a team.
Also, to highlight the importance of the supports roaming mid and the timings that you're talking about, so much is efforted into unlocking, is kind of the term that a lot of the pros use nowadays. Your laners and Ryze, every time you can unlock another 30 seconds, every minion wave is 30 seconds, gives them another opportunity to affect one of the side lanes. So still have not seen a realm warp from him yet, but as you say, doing quite well just CSing in lane and trying to threaten for those openings.
Just the waves clearing back and forth now on the mid side. We're going to see when jojopyun moves next. And a nice Hex Flash attempt by Vulcan, not going to turn into much, but the wave gets cleared yet again. We are on the way towards probably Kraken Slayer, I'm guessing, on the Danny. You can go Gale Force, but the build path is one of those two. It is not Shield Bow. And we'll see what ends up happening as he scales up again. Crit Zeri does scale stronger than Triforce Zeri, so will be a really strong late game option. We are seeing Tactical go for a crit build as well, likely Kraken on her, although again, I think Gale Force, totally a reasonable option on Senna. And we'll see where it moves, as killing frontline fairly relevant against 2 tank supports and 2 pretty beefy junglers. Final note I'll bring up on builds is that we are still on 12.2, so the big overhauls to things like Trinity Force and especially
fighter items, yeah.
The fighter shield item that everyone buys second every single game, Sterix Gauge. The big Sterix Gauge nerf is not in yet, so that's still going to be on like every champion.
Yes, sir. Especially things like the Jarvan.
Yeah.
We shall see as the progression here, though, on first item starts to come in. This Rift Herald as well is starting to wind down for Spica. Approaching 12-minute mark here for TSM. Trying to open up a good area to utilize this is definitely going to be #1 priority for them as they go and get deep vision here through red buff, through Krugs. And level 6s on the supports also means this is going to be a big possibility for trying to open up one of these plays.
Alrighty, bot lane cleared another turret. Still going to keep that 30 CS lead down there for the Zeri. Danny getting through an easy laning phase is going to feel really good with Kraken Slayer done now.
Yeah, definitely going to be the case here. Impact, though, another little trade and still keeping up decently well with CS. Huni's able to get a little bit of an advantage here with an early move. I always, put a magnifying glass on rewarding deep towards blue spawns as well. He doesn't go all the way into the Evil Geniuses jungle, though, just down the river to try and get some defensive vision for himself, and the farming continues.
Alrighty, 1,000 gold, though, with the first dragon. We will wait to see the first Herald crash. Should be coming fairly soon. It's going to time out before too long, so Spica's got to go somewhere. There we go, into the mid lane. You always want more than just the 2 plates, and in fact, it's only going to go to Poppy. Keaiduo is not going to be in range to get local turret gold, so it's 300 gold to Poppy. Congratulations. You spent a bunch of time sacking a wave to get a Herald, and you earned some money on your jungler.
And it's actually, I would say you lose out on that trade, since the money on EG's side went into Danny's hands from those plates. So money onto AD carry, about equal there, plus experience of the wave. And it just went on to, as you're saying, frontline Poppy. Frontline, I do say, first item is most important, though, for tanks, because that's where you really do have the biggest impact. As the game goes longer, damage becomes more important and carries become incredibly important. But we'll see if he can actually make use. Danny here scaling up quite nicely. As you mentioned, the double Krakens, he's got his finished as well.
Knocks down most of the wave. I don't think he missed maybe 1 or 2 CS, but not that bad. 25 seconds till next Dragon has come up. Mythic power spikes done for both bot laners. Mid lane is gonna be a desync here unless we're gonna have him teleport back to lane here for Keaiduo. That's going to be a huge difference in mid lane power, and that could mean second Dragon effortlessly. You're seeing, TSM already going for the cross-map play as EG overloads the bottom side and pushes them out of the jungle and takes away the blue buff. It is a cross-map speak identifying, we don't control bot lane, we'll go for top instead.
I think there's no world in which Evil Geniuses want to play there.
Flash stun's going to land. The follow-up, really beautiful, great cross-map play, but TSM might have to wait out for the turret to deset. No, they're going to go for it now onto the tower, and it will be the kill. Going to walk away safely. A minion will block one more turret shot, and that is well done. TSM on the board with their second kill. Dragon going to stay up as they play for tactical. He's going to run a safety, rooted in place. A nice ulti in, but it's not enough for Shenyi. And they're going to ult back to safety. Yes, they will. A 1-for-1 across the map. Dragon still up, but should still belong to EG.
Very good offensive plays, both offensive-minded from each team. TSM, no, we're abandoning a bottom. Quick, overload topside, go for the dive. And even though impact goes at the wave, they still pull off the dive and get the kill plus tower into the hands of that Viktor, which is critical. So they knew they were going to lose on bottom side, give up the Dragon regardless. But then EG strike right back through mid lane with a little bit of a timing window there. Shenyi doing his best to peel with the Rell ultimate, can't quite stuff the play, and that is quite well performed from EG. Here's just a look at the top side. When Impact did a decent job here using the W and kiting away, you can see then he just focused on the minion. He's like, I know I'm going to die, try and get some money for myself, try and delay that push, and that signals the rest of EG, okay, everybody's top. Tactical actually showed and auto the minion here, so we're gonna force it, and we're gonna force it hard. Flash used there from Inspired to make sure he can join as well, and Jojo barely surviving on 150 HP. Rell, no more damage left in the tank, so can't punish fully there. And it was a nice little bit of a trade. I still think pretty good progression here from EG because they got the Dragon number 2 stacked up for them, playing off of that Zeri control on bottom side. But Danny,
that was not
danger!
Yeah, you aimed that one a little bit too far to the right, and it puts you in front of a horse lady, and that was going to be a hop off. That's okay. Flash down, saved it otherwise. Maybe going to try the ult run, but that would have been risky. Either way, we play now for the second Rift Herald. EG grouped up, though. They're going to go for this fight. The TP and Impact, and there's W backwards for Shenyi. 4K health left in that one. The flash, the dunk towards Huni. He's locked in place, and that's going to be a kill picked up. Danny's on the board now. Rift Herald going to be attacked, going to be looked at, and smited. Blamed by Spica, but a 5v4 could look good. Poppy gonna evict one. Impact in the melee range, though, finds another kill. And now we have Danny diving into the enemy team, looking for the last of those kills. And as TSM try to run, be careful, because Zeri is fast. 4 kills picked up in a row, nothing lost. The Herald was not worth it.
Such good focus by the front line. You know, you're rewarded when you're drafting the team comp with the engage, as we talked about in Champ Select Phreak, and TSM, they want to get at the objective and poke you before the fight. Use their range, their Jayce, their laser from Viktor. If you're on the objective and EG make a great engage here through the river off the split, Inspired, as soon as he sees Huni, immediately go for the engage, ultimate down, they trap him and section off the rest of the members of TSM. That is a giant balloon of a play. This was, if I remember correctly, around 700 of a gold advantage, now ballooning into 3,700 off of that play. Absolutely insane rewards for the Evil Geniuses. Despite the Rift Herald going over to TSM and them cashing in on that turret kill, it actually was turned into an objective bounty because of the magnitude of that team fight dub.
This TP is right on top of 3 champions, though. Instant stun into a bit more crowd control. And I do believe jojopyun is trying to zoom away, but he will die. There we go. Shutdown comes across, another bounty claimed, as 201 CS in 18 minutes is quite high. TSM are gonna look to lose their mid turret, just maybe, but no. First, we've got a fight on the Shenyi. Landed a bit of that damage, Wing backwards and staying just barely alive as you got a bodyguard and Spica to stay up there.
All right, catching one back here real quick for TSM. A little bit of breathing room there. Does actually knock off a decent chunk as well because they're able to pick up the minion wave. And now you can see Viktor picking up on bottom side, already pushing out on top side for them as well. And Tactical feels safe after that engage was already used. So they should be able to stabilize a little bit here, but it's still going to be a very, very big advantage for this EG setup on Dragon number 3. You have to look forward. Their Dragon stacking is very, very easy. They've taken out now the entire bottom side defenses, and the mid lane defenses, that turret only has a few hundred HP left in it. So EG can get to bottom side first, set up, and then you're forced, as a team that wants to poke there for TSM, a very dangerous game of vision control in the hands of EG, and they've also got the Jarvan Leona engage. Exactly what EG want to set up for their Dragon Soul point.
There's even more rushes to play in thanks to the Ocean Rift. So yeah, the forward vision control, the engaged champions that you mentioned, that could be scary. Speaking of, over the wall they go, and that's gonna be dangerous. A 1-for-0, Vulcan walks away. Tactical not going to land the ulti for damage. That's going to be that picked up. But now on the top side, mid lane versus top lane. Impact trying, but I am die. Shutdown comes through. Keaiduo takes the 1v1 win.
Yeah, don't mess with Viktor. This is now 2 kills on the new TSM mid laner. This is going to be their hope. Now, funneling as much gold as they can, plus getting augments rushed up a little bit here, does complete the Void Staff off of that money as well. Definitely a lot of AoE possibilities and damage can come out from the champion, but EG, the engage on point again, so they got what they came for. They get the mid objective plus the extra kill. Tower getting knocked down in the aftermath, but the 1v1.
Yeah, really nicely done. Landed the W stun, gets the ulti over the top. Just really, really well played with the Viktor.
Yep. Once you approach the mid game here, 2 item power spike. The ultimate is rank 2 here. Plenty of burst damage, especially in those 1v1s, gets underestimated even now after Viktor has been strong for so long. And here it is. Because of that overwhelming win, there's no contest on this Dragon Soul point. That will put them to 3 and set that timer at 5 minutes, and the clock will be ticking against TSM.
So look for the 26-minute Ocean Soul. That is going to be dangerous for TSM. Keep that timer in the back of your head.
And we should note as well, talked about this last week, but the Ryze tank build that got super popular in LCK, in LPL, is being used here. And I really do like this in EG's comp because they are trying to have this head first hard engage over and over before Viktor or Jayce or Senna can get any damage or poke down on you. They've got so many avenues actually to try and attack you from. And when you have Fimbulwinter upgraded, Ryze becomes insanely tanky. Plus you get the mana scaling still inherently with it. Gives you all these side lane options for EG to set up the vision in their favor for that objective fight. So they can push out on both sides with very strong split pushers in Gwen and Ryze, and be able to have, force TSM into some very tricky scenarios.
Alrighty, what's coming next for us right now is wards come down onto the Baron pit. Make sure there's no sneaks going on, because at this point, keep in mind, EG get to a point in about 4 minutes where you can trade 1-for-1 on either objective, and it's probably positive for you, right? If TSM get Dragon, you get Baron, obviously it's a dub. If they get Baron and you get Dragon as EG, it's actually pretty close. Impact gonna find another 1v1, but didn't win it against the mid laner, isn't winning it against the top side as Huni just shoves him right out. Keep in mind, 2 out on Spike is in for the Jayce, so Impact gonna need some catching up, and he's down 30 CS in the lane.
I mean, you don't want that fight. This is literally one of Jayce's best all-time in an entire game. Is 2 item power spike, your Mirror Mana is actually completed. Huge amounts of burst damage come out, so Impact's able to go back and get his Cosmic Drive, now even footing. Now can get it back out to answer that wave. TSM though, you're coming from behind, your sights are set on these objective bounties, try and push hard on one side. Jojo is the side they go for.
Behind could be an easy tackle. You can never ult because you always hold the E or the R for it. There's a tackle into the wall, onto the Viktor stun. That's going to be a 2v1 and a kill. 3rd one in a row now for TSM's mid.
Exactly. Necessary comeback strategies from TSM. Pounce on a side lane, get the kill, and see if you can push out the waves afterwards. You're eyeballing that bottom turret. It is very, very low here. A lot of work has been done. That is an objective bounty. That is also not too deep on the map. So if TSM are able to get more picks like that, you can try and catch back up, get some gold into your pockets. Only problem is, 2.5 minutes on that timer.
Yeah.
Phreak still ticking away here. EG eyeballing this Dragon Soul.
Yep. Quick doomsaying, real quick from me, which is all those kills we've seen from TSM, they would all still be kills even with an Ocean Soul, right? 2v1, one-shotting Jojo, yeah, it's still gonna happen. Impact didn't win his 1v1 against Huni, still gonna happen the exact same way. Those individual plays, those don't change because of Soul. So the things that TSM are doing well, that's not gonna stop working unless EG starts macroing better.
Yeah, the 1v1s might start to get more dicey. There is a little bit of healing cutting coming up with the Grievous wounds there for Huni, but I do like how all 3 kills on Viktor, Keaiduo is spending his money on pure damage for this Viktor. You do not need a Morel Nomicon for him. He's got a hard carry. He has to actually win these team fights for the team, and he's approaching even level 16 here. So it is kind of fitting in the first game for this new TSM lineup. Everything is on his shoulders.
It's their initial name. It is no longer technically Team Solo Mid. It is just TSM, but
you know where it came from.
It's where it came from. We all remember this was the original. It was Reginald, then it was Bjergsen, then for a time it was Power of Evil, and now Keaiduo picks up the mantle. And hey, you know, he got outlaned by jojopyun, sure, but he's doing really well in the team fights here, really well in the mid game, and will be the primary force for TSM's success in this game. Keeping the wave clear going, keeping the CS within 20. You know, solid 10 CS a minute right now.
Yeah, plus it's going to be important, again, if they can get a little bit of chip damage early. If you can chip down on some of these engagers before they start, then you have a hope of getting that counter engage off that you kind of drafted for. You know, Poppy the bodyguard. You've got Rell here with the snap E-stun. Should be able to do a decent amount of peeling with that plus the ultimate. And that is a hope for the TSM lineup here. EG, though.
Do I like? Oh, okay.
Again, full control early on. They've got Ryze heading down from top side. A little bit of a late arrival there from Impact.
A slow, but Viktor's not going to be an easy target. Again, only has flash, no other combat summoners. TP is not really useful in combat, but no engage just yet. Tactical stealth, the squad flash engage on a 2, big damage. Do they find Vulcan? Not quite yet. In goes Impact, inspired, pushed out, 1 for nothing. Shenyi is down, running away, gonna stay alive against the ulti. Danny is out summoners, low on the health bar as well on the rest of his teammates, so Danny is 1 versus 4. Can pop the shield, but TSM, I've seen plays like this before. How good's it gonna be? Problem is, vision can be tough. Get the control ward. TP's back in the lane. That's going to be the important part to get back into the 5v4. But Danny, chunked to half HP, must be a bit respectful. Ulti's down, flash engage not going to land for Vulcan, but he found the stun. Spica could be going down, and that's going to be 1 for nothing yet again. Chase now on a Huni on the bottom side on the top, so they have Tactical running away for his life. Danny almost has the range, but can't quite get him. Gonna be rooted in place. Zap's not gonna land. They'll walk out. Low health bars on both sides, but the map belongs to EG. Dragon Soul belongs to EG.
Yep, the win is theirs, Phreak. TSM making an attempt on mid, trying to chunk out Vulcan. They did hit a shock blast on him, preempting that fight, and then go for the engage, trying to get a quick kill before the rest of EG swipe over, but not able to complete it. Well maneuvered here by EG. And now that you're wearing the soul, it is so easy to go over to this Baron and bait. Your regen is insane, and there's very little danger to it. After teleporting back in off of this recall, there's nowhere for TSM to go. You know, Huni gets pincered a little bit, but it doesn't matter because Vulcan goes for the flash play here. He does miss the E, but Rell Morp there in, and Spica gets stunned up, no problem. They honestly had no route out because of Impact's teleport there, so good job by him cutting off the other escape, and they pick up the extra kills and the Dragon Soul.
The Soul has been earned, but the gold lead has remained around this 3,000 gold mark, as you can see, for the last several minutes, the last 10, I would say, roughly. Certainly relevant to think about that one. The TSM have fought well, but they have lost objectives, and Dragon Soul's obviously an injection of power. No slows just there. TSM going to walk away. The next objective is clearly going to be the setup around Baron. Both teams have killed the outer turrets, 3 for 3 on that scoreline.
Yeah, Huni, I like the call from TSM. They're having him use his Unleashed teleport to push on bottom side. There's no teleport from EG. So the goal from EG right now should be try and force this teleport out, because that is the only advantage TSM are wielding right now. It's the split pushing Jayce, level 16 Huni. He's pushing in all the way up to another one of those objective bounties. Secondary turret there. Teleport advantage, well managed by them, you know, to actually relieve some of this pressure. EG aren't able to get that teleport out, but they are able to push back enough that without vision coverage, TSM have to let up on the split push.
You can see the CS lead, 50 in the top lane. The single, well, okay, Flame Horizon in the bot lane. Okay, Danny's got way more farm. That's a lot of the gold lead here, but you know, Huni's done half of what Danny has earned in his side, and I mean that as a positive. Huni has gotten a lot done in the sides, got that level lead. And Impact has to, he's grouping, he's like, all right, is there a team fight? Yes, no, yes, okay, I come down, I lost some CS, I lost some XP, turret lost 10% of its health, okay, but I'll pick up the scraps. And that's gonna keep happening until EG can find that way in again.
Yeah, and as far as checking back in on the Zeri builds and the crit versions, this is my favorite one actually, because you still have your Sheen proc that you want to get the most out of with your Essence Reaver, but you have really good sustain with Bloodthirster, even though it's quite an expensive AD carry item. Really like how Danny can maneuver around these fights where every member on his team that is not him is a very beefy member that is going to be creating space and creating time for him to get the maximum out of Zeri's kit.
The bot lane wave cleaned out. EG on their way back to get rid of the vision. We know Elder Dragon is still 3 minutes away. There's no credible threat. You don't care about wards on the bottom side at all unless you're playing split push. So it's top side again. A couple of control wards in there for EG, and that means they're going to start this one up here, trying to two-man the Baron as the rest of the squad shows themselves in mid. Look, there's no mid lane, or there's no jungler, there's no support. Don't worry about it. And now, TSM, how do you get in?
Well, they also have to worry about the teleport cooldown here. So EG, they're burning it down, no vision. They actually get the objective, no teleport used. All right, objective claim. There you go, Phreak. That's the answer.
Nice. I mean, that's good play.
Just burn it down. Vision coverage does enough. The power of vision denial there for EG and sustain of Ocean means there's no threat here. It's not like you take any significant hit from Baron. TSM, they barely even get the push out on bottom side because they're so far behind in this game.
And it's really good timing, all things considered. They're going to catch the bot wave in time. No problem there for Impact to get his golden XP up. There's no cross map on the Dragon. There's maybe the chance to play for wards right now, but you can see it's covered enough that the invade paths are known. Vulcan is safe. The squad can come down to defend some of this. Good bounty in the bottom turret. That's going to be a solid, literally 1,000 gold earned, 800 base for the turret, plus minimum 250 for the bounty, so a good amount of money earned on that side of the map, but you can see it's still pushing forward. Is EG going to take top turret in response?
Yeah, this is the problem. Because there is so much focus there from EG, and they were winning the 5-on-5 with their very strong engagements. Ocean Soul is going to allow them to push back with this Baron buff very easily. Ryze to top turret already. This is mid one falling very shortly there as Danny from a pretty safe range able to help that one down as well. And they still have an extra minute 45 on this Baron, so plenty of splitting to come.
Is it a death? Got a root. Okay, he's gonna get out of the rest of this one. Can Shenyi find him? Nice. The ulti is a momentary silence. Stops the ult. Jojo on the way. Phase run, EWQ, run for his life, knows he is dead. Stopwatch to buy 3 seconds. Will still drop, will be stunned, will be killed. They shut down again on the Keaiduo, but we look at the bottom lane now. How quickly can you reset? Because this is going to be a dead inhibitor. Jojo for an inhib seems decent. Bot tier 2 and inhibitor turret dropped for gold as well. Cash positive, map control positive for EG.
And Phreak, he's going the new Lichbane on that Viktor as well. He knows he has to put out so much damage. He has to really hard carry, get these kills. He's got all 4 of the mid-game kills, for the team, and he's putting it all into damage as it should be. I actually really like the new Lichbane where it's a lower cooldown. It is less damage on the proc, but second lower on the cooldown actually can be utilized by Viktor very effectively in these fights. As long as they're able to peel for him, keep him upright, and keep him safe.
Yep.
This is the way to go if you have any hope of trying to get back into it.
Totally agree. I think everyone would agree this is the way, and as TSM look for their play around Elder Dragon.
Mando agrees.
Yeah, exactly. Now we got the control wards in the brush. TSM actually owned the vision. That Scryer's Bloom, they need to hit it. Okay, good. That was pretty important. Tactical could spot the route in, and they can burn this pretty quickly. The same DPS, not bad at all. EG on the way, but Ryze not in range yet. Has ult, has TP, has flash. When does the play begin? Inspire takes one of the control wards away, owns the left-hand side brush. TSM sitting on top of vision as well as the scuttle was taken. A slow from the ult, impact on the flank. Do they find the play? A slow and a Shenyi is not enough to start the fight. Dragon stays at 9K right now.
Yep, TSM, they want to flip it right here, but EG, they're trying to poke down and heal back up with their Ocean Soul. Impact, though, gets engaged on his gun.
Gets jumped, the stun is on, they're gonna find him, he's gonna zone his for a second. Shenyi's gonna drop 1 for 0, stop for Poppy for a second, and the front line goes inspired, and that means they're gonna get the kill. Down goes Keaiduo, and that means the fight is over. A quadra kill for Danny. Welcome to the LCS, Zeri. Danny gets another pentakill.
100% of Zeri games have resulted in pentas for Danny. Evil Geniuses coming in hot off that lock-in tournament. Second place, not too shabby in the tournament. First place in the LCS. They are the only team with a win in spring.
Well done, EG, starting the way they left off. Wins in the group stage. The question is, how long will this run? Ran for a while in lock-in, may run for a while here. Danny looked good on the Zeri, completely crushed the lane. Jojo won his lane again. No surprise here at all. Inspired always on point. The objectives were stacked up. Well done, EG.
Yeah. Rewarded there, the young North American talent showing up, but also the veterans on this team, because there's so much of a spotlight on the younger pieces. Impact, Vulcan, Inspired, really well maneuvered here by the team. I actually like this strategy too of the draft of going for the hard engage, trying to close that gap, and manage your own leads early on a lot better.
Yeah, meanwhile, we can look at the other side, right? Talk about TSM, what do we see, what do we like, what did we not like? I thought Huni had a solid landing phase. I think he actually created a lot of side pressure. That was really good. And the 2-on-2 early kill, like level 2 or 3, like that was well played on both sides. I was a fan of Shenyi's engage, but it just felt like the first few dragons were given over off of bot pressure. I don't know what happened exactly. I expected the lane overall to look better for the TSM 2-on-2, right? Like, I think they should be reasonably favored, but map pressure was clearly with EG.
And you know what it was? It was those early trades where I changed my opinion and I was like, okay, I have faith in this TSM bottom lane. Really good mechanical play in both first engages, the escape from Shenyi, then the re-engage, focusing, burning down Zeri, you know, getting that kill. I was like, oh my God, it's gonna happen. And then, you know, the farm lead explodes. They make the swap over to Rift Herald. Danny's just farming up on the Zeri. He's constantly pushing in, and they have dragon control. And so EG, they kind of shrug off one of the mishaps in the early stage of the game where you thought this could go, you know, in a TSM favored way. So I think it also speaks to the discipline of this EG team already to be able to shrug off small hiccups like that.
Yeah, the fact that EG were up 1,000 gold, down a 600 gold first blood, because 400 for the kill, 200 for the assist, right? 600 gold is the value there. The fact that they out-farmed 1,600 gold and first dragon is like, well, the hands are better, right? Jojo, I think, has been up CS maybe literally every game. Like, it might be 100%. At 8-14, he's up CS. It's like, well, that's a gold lead every game. That's going to feel pretty good. And yeah, despite that first blood, the bot lane had pressure from EG.
Yeah, I think it's a really smart decision, and more teams should be pushing for the hard shove on the turret plates and minion wave in exchange for that Rift Herald. They really made it a non-factor. Timing's there for Vulcan getting back out and roaming. This is something people were looking at the lock-in finals and seeing some underperformances of what they were used to seeing from this Evil Geniuses team. And it looks like it's been corrected pretty quickly here. You know, Vulcan playmaking champion here with the Leona. He's moving towards mid very often to try and open up, unlock Jojo for these roaming timers, and they're able to keep control for the early stage.
Alrighty, well, the new blood bring it home, and EG take the first win of 2020 in LCS. To learn a little more, we're joining LeTigress and Danny for our Ryzen postgame interview.
First win of spring for EG, second pentakill of the year for Danny. So first things first, welcome back to the LCS stage. What was it like having such an explosive performance on a pick that we have yet to see in the LCS?
It definitely feels amazing to have to play Zeri and get a pentakill. Fun fact, I actually played Zeri only once in scrims and then also got a pentakill there as well. So maybe this champ is just a pentakill machine, but it definitely feels amazing.
Is that what gave you and the team the confidence to bring it out in game one despite only having that single game of experience, or were you just feeling the pick in general?
We definitely think that Zeri is very strong right now, and even though I didn't have that much practice on it, I definitely feel like I could have piloted the champ that I could today.
Oh, and I'm sure you'll be piloting it again and again unless it just gets on the ban block soon enough. This was also the first time we got to see TSM and their full roster here. What were your thoughts on their debut?
TSM played very controlled. I actually think it was very interesting how they played. I mean, I wasn't really doing that much in the game, but I can definitely sense that all their plays were very coordinated and they're doing stuff as a team, so good for them.
Yeah, a lot of collective coordination, that's for sure. And on the side of you and EG, we've already known you to be such an explosive bot laner, but there's been so much discussion around the importance of the role and how it has evolved with things like changes to teleport and scaling champs come through. How do you feel that your role within the context of a professional team has changed due to this evolution?
I definitely think that the role of the bot laner is more important now that the TP changes are gone. It definitely feels like you can do a lot more stuff in bot lane without a lot of things changing it, like a lot of variables like TP. So I definitely feel like a lot of pressure has been brought upon me to perform better now that I have more control and not mid or top, but yeah.
We've seen you perform under that pressure time and time again. Looking forward to seeing you do it again. So happy to see your face. You're the first face I've gotten to see here in person, and thank you so much for the interview.
Thank you, thank you.
With that, there is more for us to break down, so let's head on over to the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you so much, LeTigress, and what better game to kick off the regular split than that? It kind of had everything from start to
It had a bit of everything.
Oh my God, we've already got so many pentas this year in the LCS. You gotta love it. Ending on that note, you gotta love the note that it started on with that Zeri first pick. We were talking about a Kobe, very definitively said he thinks he's the best champion in the game. EG seems to agree.
I was surprised to see it, just because I've been watching Academy, and it's been almost permabanned on Red side in Academy. The only, it was in that C9 game that we mentioned where Josh Hine took it top. I actually do want to point out one thing I really loved about TSM's composition. I loved the Poppy pick into what EG had. I thought it was really, really smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy how wildly variable there are, how wild variances there are in of course, Zeri. Not only are you saying that it's consistently banned, but in the game that you were talking about, it was last picked.
Yep.
So so there are some situations where people don't exactly know if it's the OP pick, and I like TSM's response to it, where they had stacking CC with Poppy and Rell and the range that Senna provides. So they had a lot of control if the early game went their way, and initially it did.
It very much did. We heard Phreak talking about some of the value of those picks into it, but it didn't take long for the 2v2 to get wild.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I can understand why, especially for day one of the LCS, you let Zeri through. It looked like they had played the matchup against it a decent amount in the laning phase, but when Rift Herald started coming around and mid-game started coming around, that's when we saw the bot gap really appear through the CS. But I don't necessarily think that was because of Senna versus Zeri. I think that's because of the way EG was controlling and constricting the map.
Exactly, and something even just to mention off that, just because when they went for the 2v2 and the kill went over to Senna, they had to push the wave and base, but they based earlier. They had to base early because jojopyun was leaning there and was forcing the freeze. So they actually, from that kill onwards later onto the game, got a 20 CS advantage bot lane, and the game went wild.
And then after that, this is actually some of the trade plays they made after TSM, I believe, was able to get the Herald, because they made a play on bot side and then were able to rotate up off of basically a chain reaction. And I think one thing we brought up in finals that was kind of missing is EG being able to rotate Danny around the map, get that plate gold, get ahead that way. And even though he didn't make up a lot of even more of his CS lead, I think he ended up 30 CS and he started at 20 above or something. He got all of that plate gold and he was significantly far ahead.
Yeah, we were kind of having a debate, right? How do you evaluate the effectiveness of that trade while you have the Rift Herald going over one side? But of course, Danny is getting very, very strong on the Zeri on the other side. The second Rift Herald fight, though, that's where it felt like EG finally was able to wrestle a bit of control away from TSM.
Yeah, not only did they get the initial pick in the fight, but also you see J4 coming in at a flank much later on because they were able to get a pick on the side there to Jayce. And so it was just a really tough fight for TSM. You lose Huni, and then they come wrap around you. It felt really difficult to at least get away.
Yeah, and it's hard to highlight, I think, where the big turning points in the game were outside of the conclusions of these fights. But generally speaking, the waves were well pressed for EG. Every time I was looking at the minimap, it looked like TSM couldn't see. So even though at the top of the day we said oh, this TSM team is really gonna trust their hands, it's hard to trust your hands if you can't see. So they just didn't, I don't think they had openings to really attack EG, and they just lost the Dragon stacking game and lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we saw was an EG team that's just a lot more coordinated and a lot more able to make these cross-map plays as a group. But for TSM, there are a lot of like really individual bright spots. Like we said, this team is going to have incredible mechanical ability, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how they develop as a group.
Yeah, we're gonna relive the pentakill moment.
Okay, so Danny's at the top of the screen. Try and follow him through this fight, because he covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, comes in at flank and gets down Shenyi, and of course he's already in a pretty good position. He goes through the wall and then flashes back.
Does he vault over the Jarvan ult too?
He vault flashes,
Yeah.
so he covers
Oh,
an insane amount
okay.
of ground.
I was trying to figure that out because it kind of looked like he teleported. A sick pentakill.
He started at blue, went to river, went to bot lane, and then ended at blue. Just
Beautiful, beautiful. As if the pentakill wasn't enough, his whole performance throughout the game is what brings him the first player of the game honors that we have here in the Spring Split of 2022. So good on him. He talked about how he feels there's even more expectation on him now with some of the changes that have come through in the game, and he's hoping he can live up to that. I'd say he did it in game number 1.
Yeah, and one thing I think that happens a lot in LCS, because players get, especially North American players, get shuffled around a lot by teams, right? Is I want to track him in his second year. Like, how is he improving? We've already seen his laning, in my opinion, has improved a lot with Vulcan, and that was the one thing that I was very critical of him last year. And then his team fighting is still absolutely insane.
Stellar player. Good to see EG rebound after that loss in the locked-in finals. For TSM, though, I think that was a brilliant first showing, considering, again, the expectations that we had of them coming in. Now, when we return, the rookie squad of CLG shoot for the stars while Alphamu and all of FlyQuest look to stop them. We'll see you here.
Take fast dash.
Junglers. Good hit. Flash for the fling backwards. Stun's gonna land. Danny flashing forward. Now locked in place. Welcome to the LCS. Shenyi gets first blood. Dragon gonna stay up as they play for tactical. He's gonna run a safety rooted in place. A nice ulti in, but it's not enough for Shenyi. And they're gonna hold back to safety. Yes, they will. A 1-for-1 across the map. But now on the top side, mid lane versus top lane. Impact trying, but I am die. Shutdown comes through. Keaiduo takes the 1v1 win.
What's going on?
Jake from State Farm, the perp just confessed. I think. I don't know.
What?
Oh, can't afford streaming anymore, so here we are.
Oh, don't give up what you love. State Farm has options to personalize your policy so you get a rate that fits your budget.
Oh, that's great. The subtitles would be nice.
For surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.